I wish I could lip sync to the actual song, but I don't want to get flagged for copyright. What's up, everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video part today. I am so excited because we are finally in the month of November, and based on that little intro, we're going to be looking at lion movies. And what better way to start things off than by taking a look at a guilty pleasure of mine, The Ghost in the Darkness. You know, ever since I was a kid, I have always been fascinated with animals, to where I have been told that instead of watching cartoons, I was actually watching nature documentaries. And I remember watching this movie as a kid, and it scared the living hell out of me in the best possible way. So this movie came out back in 1996 and stars Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas in this low-budget horror movie about lions eating people. Now, just to be clear, horror movies are a big no-no for me, more specifically modern horror films that mostly deal with the paranormal stuff. But when it comes to horror films that deal with animals, honestly, I am totally fine with that and actually enjoy those kind of stories. But like I said, the movie stars both Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas, two very popular actors at the time, playing two hunters going after a pair of male lions. Because in the story, it is set in 1898 Kenya, where at the time the British ruled about 30% of the continent of Africa. In order to connect their regional borders, they decided to do it through train. And while several workers were working on the Savo Railway, a pair of male lions started attacking the workers over the course of several months. Enter Val Kilmer's character, Colonel Patterson, who has been tasked to hunt and kill these animals, and is paired with Michael Douglas's character, Charles Remington, to help with this mission. And the plot is pretty much straightforward as we watch these two guys go after a pair of lions that are racking up a hell of a kill count. So one of the things that I really liked about this movie is the fact that they use real lions. Now, obviously, they could have used CGI. I mean, this movie only came out a few years after Jurassic Park, and if they can make dinosaurs, I'm pretty sure they could make a pair of male lions. But because the budget was so tight, I guess the cheapest thing to do was to actually get a pair of trained lions, which honestly is a lot more scarier than CGI lions. No joke, some of the jump scares in this movie are the stuff of nightmares, because seeing a real lion approach the camera in a predatorial-like fashion, it makes you realize that you are at the bottom of the food chain. And if I'm gonna be honest, I have actually had several recurring nightmares where I have been attacked by a pride of lions. And now that I think about it, I think it was this movie that pretty much started that fear. Now, don't get me wrong, I love these animals and I hope to see them one day in the wild, but I would not want to see them when they're hungry. And the other thing that I really liked about this film was learning that this was based on real events. As it turns out, the Tsavo man-eaters were a pair of male lions who were responsible for the death of construction workers of the Kenya-Uganda Railway back in 1898. Now, would you believe me if I told you that these lions reportedly killed 135 people? Holy crap. Some historians today believe that the reason why these two lions attacked these people was because these lions were a pair of juvenile lions. Now, the way things work is that when young male lions come of age, they are kicked out of their own pride to start a new one, which is very difficult considering how they have to go up against full-grown veteran lions who are in their prime. And not only that, but they also have to hunt for their food as well. So one could say that these two lions were once part of a larger pride but were kicked out, and with food being very difficult to catch, they turned to the easiest food sources possible: humans, where they killed not one but over 100 people over the course of 9 months. Oh my god, 2 teenage lions did that. I can't imagine what a full pride would do. But anyway, while I love how this movie touches on a, for lack of a better term, a historical moment, that doesn't mean that it's free from artistic liberty. Because the film needed to be more exciting, the lions needed to have some sort of supernatural presence that installed fear to our characters. And while I liked how they were given the names The Ghost and The Darkness, there were times where I kind of felt like these animals were like the Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers of the African savannah. The other thing this movie needed was star power, and while Val Kilmer was popular at the time, I guess the studio needed to have a big name on this film that would get people to come see it, so they turned to Michael Douglas, who actually plays a fictional character. So while Val Kilmer plays the person who really killed these lions, Michael Douglas' character was created to get people to go see this movie. Now, if you're into history and like your movies to be as accurate as possible to the events that they are portraying, you might want to lower expectations for this film, because while it is very suspenseful, there are also times where you're looking at the screen like, wait a minute. But because I watched this as a kid, I had no idea this was based on a true story up until the very end, where the film actually states that. And after we watched this movie as an adult, it still managed to scare me a little. With that being said, if you're looking for something to watch tonight, or if you're into animals like me, you should probably check out this film, as it really does show you the struggling conflict between lions and humans. Well, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. That was my overall view on The Ghost and the Darkness. If you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button to get always updates from this channel. I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.